Hey, it's Dino, DigitSpin Crypto, and we're gonna do a great show today. It's Thursday. Tomorrow is our last day before the weekend. So I want to start off with, obviously this is not financial advice. It's just the ramblings of a common pedestrian having fun on YouTube. So keep that in the back of your head as you go along. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See if we can find that button there and get myself out of the way. That's always important to do. We appreciate each and every one of you that have done that. That allows us to continue on, make more videos, do more live streams, have lots more fun. It's all appreciated because of your support. So let's also talk about our Telegram. In the links below, or the comments below, the description actually, you will find a link to our private Telegram channel, and in there we will put a lot of our information as we're thinking about it throughout the day. And after the show, I usually have some communications with the folks. We also have George, who's from Webdollar, that visits the channel and answers questions there also. So get connected, connect to Telegram, hit the link. If you need to do it right away, you can take a look at yesterday's video and click on the link there. And that's important to do. Now, over the last few days, we've been doing an Electroneum giveaway, and that's been a lot of fun. It's been exciting. And we're going to add Webdollar also to the giveaway. The wonderful folks, see, Webdollar basically there's no organization to it. It's a completely open source, decentralized community project. The community got together and put coins into a bundle, and they're doing an airdrop. But they also sent me 2,000 Webdollars to give away here on DigitSpin Crypto. So that's pretty exciting. And with that 2,000, I was able to mine a few. So I took some of the coins that I mined and I doubled what they put in. So we have 4,000 Webdollars that we'll be able to give away on this show, thanks to the community of Webdollar. So the moral of the story is, when you put your address in the comments below, you can either put Webdollar or Electroneum, and whatever one that you have there will be the coin that I'll disperse to you. So if you put your Electroneum address in there, you'll get Electroneum. If you put your Webdollar address in there, you'll get Webdollars. The choice is yours. Don't bother me. The Electroneum is my personal Electroneum that we gather from our experimental ASIC that's sitting on my desk in the office. So this is all good, and you know, I'm mining all these things to be able to give them away to you, so that you can add them to your collection and have a good day. So this is all good stuff. Alright, so what we're going to talk about today is Electroneum. We have I want to introduce you to a member of the team at Electroneum. We're going to talk about obviously Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the ASIC mining. We'll take a look at Webdollar. I want to show you some of the new features on Webdollar. Now I'm going to do Webdollar the second half of the show, and at the very end we're going to do our prize giveaway. Now, if you're quick enough, smart enough, you can open up a second window and put your Electroneum or Webdollar address in a comment on yesterday's video. So by the end of the show, you'll be included, because what I do is I open up a random picker and we check yesterday's video for all of the entries of who's going to win. So hopefully that'll all work out for everybody, and there'll be a nice winner. Yesterday's winner was Mark, and Mark won himself 50 Electroneum. So he was pretty excited about that, and thankful. So I'm glad that worked out for him. And let's take a look at our chat. So I'm going to take a look. Now I moved the screen up a little higher, so it looks like I'm pointing and clicking on the little, yeah, I'm looking at your chats there. Oh, look at all these chats, you know, and go from there. So we got Paul in the house, we got Bulky in the house, Dijon 8, Nutric, Jay, and Jacob, and you guys are awesome. So this is all good stuff. Paul says good evening, and we appreciate you, Paul, and we're thankful that you guys made it there. Chris Knight just made it in the house too, so that's a good thing, Chris. I'm glad that you were able to make the show. Now keep in mind, if you have any questions throughout the show, I'll go back and forth in between the segments, and we'll take a look at those questions in the chat, and I'll see if I can answer them for you. I'm not a genius by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll give you my personal opinion on the matter. So we'll take a look at that as we go. Now make sure you get your Electroneum or Webdollar address. Yesterday's video. Right, Mr. Bean? Right. See? He knows. He knows. Alright. Let's change cameras. And let's take a look at what we got first. So first up, let's bring up our screen. See what kind of good stuff we have here. What I want yesterday I went to go open up the random number picker on the Google page, and it wouldn't come up, and I found out it was because of the sizing of the screen. It was there, I just couldn't see it. What I wanted to do for the Electroneum giveaway to make it a little bit more exciting and interesting for everybody was, instead of just giving you 50 Electroneum, I wanted to give you an opportunity to make between 50 and 100 Electroneum or Webdollars. So you can win between that. And what we're going to do at the beginning of the show is that we're going to randomly pick a number to be able to do that. So I have the random number picker, and I'm letting it pick from 1 to 100. Now, any number below 50 will automatically become 50. So if it comes up 25, you win 50. But if the number comes up 75, you win 75 for today. And that'll be for today's show, and we'll try to do this going forward. I think it'll be kind of exciting. So each day the amount can change, and I'll scribble it down with my handy dandy red pen here. And yeah, it's still full of ink, and we'll see if we can go from there. So if you guys are ready, and I see you guys are, we will hit the generate number. Now, anything less than 50 is 50. Anything over 50 becomes the amount that we'll give away at the end of the show. And the number is 42. So 42 becomes 50. Today's prize will be 50 Electroneum or Webdollars of your choice. So you never know. It could end up being much higher. I've had it happen many times playing with it and testing it. I think it's kind of fun. All right. So first thing we want to do is take a look at our Bitcoin review, just real quick. You know, it's retracted a bit. It went below the $8,000 mark, and you know, like I was telling you yesterday, there was a lot of pumping and excitement, and I think it was a lot of FOMO for Bitcoin, because you see all of the money coming out. I showed you the Bitcoin domination, and a lot of that money was coming out of the altcoins, going into Bitcoin, and everybody was starting to hoard them, you know, buying them, doing everything because they were hearing all this ETF stuff. And the fact of the matter is like I said yesterday, you know, this isn't going to happen for a quarter, in you know, at best September, and chances are probably not until January. So, you know, you have a lot of people running out, oh, all excited, they buy them Bitcoins, and then they find out nothing exciting is going to happen. Now, having said that, there's still a good amount of the folks out there, I happen to catch on YouTube and other sources, there's still a lot of positive news. They're still thinking that it's going to continue to rise. So I wouldn't get rid of them yet or cash them in yet. But, you know, keep that in the back of your head. You know, you got some people saying it's going to go up, and I'm saying, you know, I think the prices are basically up because of all the excitement, and there's really nothing behind it except for the hype. But, you know, Bitcoin does affect us, the reason why I talk about it. And, of course, we're down a little bit today. Let's take a quick look while I'm at it. Let's see if we're still at the 98 position or 94 position. Electroneum. So Electroneum went from 94 to 97, but it's still in the 100 range, so that's still good news, and glad to see that at least. So that's a bonus. Let's take a look at the chat, make sure there's no questions. All right, nothing that I have to worry about yet. Very well. So let's head on over to my next section, and what I wanted to talk about, you know, Apple made it part of their terms and conditions not to have the machines mine, not to, on the phones, and so, you know, some people had mentioned, hey, you know, Google's gonna ban it also. There's no miners. Is that gonna affect Electroneum there? And so I want to tell you a little bit about the article and then give you my response regarding that. So the Play Store, basically, they're trying to clean up. They have a lot of people that create repetitive content. In other words, they'll make a store that sells vitamins, and they'll put vitamin A store on it, and then they go out and they get some other poor sap to buy their product or to buy their service and include it, and they say, you know, we'll also give you a custom web app, and all they do is change it to store B. They put a little graphic on it, and then they put it out there and give them their app and say, there you go, you can sell these vitamins. And then they go to some other poor sap and they say, you know, put down $10,000, we'll give you an app and you can sell vitamins. And then they stick store C on there and they duplicate it. and then they put it out there, and basically it's the exact same application with the exact same products and the exact same stuff, and all they did is sell it and put a different person's name on the top of it. So that's what's called repetitive content. And obviously they're also worried about some video sharing applications that were on there that had a concern to them. But one of the things that they're trying to do is remove some of these crypto miners, and what they're trying to do there is basically get rid of miners that physically mine on a phone. A lot of them, you download the app, and then they use the CPU, the Snapdragons that are inside of these phones, to try to, you know, mine some basic coins or pretend to mine the larger ones, but they're actually mining other coins and then trading them for it. So usually it's Monero-based coins and CPU-based coins. There's some others out there, Argon 2-based coins and a few others. The moral of the story is that they don't want to see damage to the phones, because people don't know to lower down the power. They leave it all the way up. They overheat their phones. So the question was posed, how's that going to affect Electroneum, Dino? And so I want to answer that for you. The answer is, it's not. Electroneum is a airdrop with a simulated miner. It does not use the horsepower of the processor. It doesn't use up the battery. It doesn't have any of those problems. So this is not going to be a problem for Electroneum, and I don't see any way that that's going to be an issue that they're going to have to deal with. Electroneum was smart in the design, so just wanted to bring it up and let you know my thoughts on it. I can't see this whatsoever causing a problem for Electroneum. So let's take a look now. That's page 1. Throw that up. Let's throw that out of here. Okay, page 2. All right, so we want to talk about the team at Electroneum, and let's go out here and take a look at the chat. So Dijon was saying, hey Dino, it's actually a good thing that Google's going to ban some of these actual crypto miners. And the fact of the matter is, quite frankly, Dijon, you are right. Yay! And let me tell you why you're right. Why you're right is because now, let's say you have 10 of these mining apps out there stressing their phones. Okay, when those get removed, and because it's not healthy for a phone, it'll go from there and leave Electroneum left. So this is a good thing to have happen. It'll actually reduce competition and give Electroneum a leg up. So I tend to agree with you, Dejan. I think your point on that is valid. I definitely think it's valid. All right. Oh, poor Paul saying, hey, this is not good news for my phone farm. Yeah, that may be an issue, Paul, and I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, if you're running a bunch of phones lined up, but you're not supposed to be doing that anyway, right? Especially on Electroneum. I think they're trying to cut that out and keep those types of things from happening. So I have a feeling whether it's Google that ends up cutting you out, or some of the algorithms in Electroneum. I think that either way, the day is coming to try to limit multiple use of phones and tablets. I think that you can go up to 5 from a same IP address, and just 1 per account, or whatever it may be. But yeah, sorry to hear that for you, Paul. It's I know what you're feeling. I have the same thing when GPUs can't be used, and then on certain coins, and other coins it can, and then geez, crud, I gotta go find another coin to mine. It's always a lot of shifting around, a lot of energy being spent, but it's still a lot of fun. So keep that in the back of your head, right, Mr. Bean? Alright, yeah, he knows. All right. Okay. So Paul uses MinerGate. He was saying, so MinerGate will, I believe that just runs in the background whether or not your phone's running or not. So you're probably smarter on that. You can put it in the chat. I have never used MinerGate, so I don't know all the details that it entails and don't have all the information. I was talking with Crypto NWO, and he uses MinerGate, and he swears by it. He thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. You know, I had some concerns, you know, to have an endless supply of electricity to run these things kind of concerns me. I don't see that as a viable way of staying in business. But what do I know? I never actually did the mathematics on it or the research, and nor have I even looked into MinerGate. I'm going to add that to my list of things to do with my handy dandy red pencil. MinerGate. I'm going to actually look into this thing, since so many people seem to be using it, so I can speak more intelligently on the conversation and on the subject matter. So we'll go forward from there. All right. So we got H-Bomb. H-Bomb made it. He just popped in, saying, "How's it going?" Doing great, H-Bomb. Glad at least you were able to make it. You haven't missed a whole lot, but I'm glad to have you here. All right. So the next section is the Electroneum website. Now, when you go to the Electroneum website, I'm going to poke back to that. There's a lot of good information on there, but you got to go all the way down to the bottom, way past all this good stuff, and you keep going. And this is where you get a lot of extra goodness. All the squeezy goodness is at the bottom. It fell down there. And one of the things is Meet the Team. Now, I'm sure all of you guys know the fancy Richard Ells with the snappy haircut there. But one guy you may not know is Chris Gorman OBE. OBE is a postfix for the Order of the British Empire. That's actually given by the Queen, by the royalty themselves, directly to the person, like you're being knighted. You know, it's basically given by the Queen. So you know, this is a gentleman that clearly has some gravitas in the UK. Now, Chris joined the team, and basically the second guy there, number 2, like on Star Trek. Hey, number 2. So important type of guy. And here's the good thing is that Chris interacts with the public. He provides information, interacts with the folks on Telegram. He even writes articles for publication. There's a lot of good stuff. And the reason why I wanted you to meet Chris right here is because if you can follow, and this is basically a little tip, if you follow his thoughts and publications, it'll give you a good insight to where Electroneum is probably heading. There's a lot of clues, and you ask me, how do I find out my information? Well, one of the things is reading the material that Chris produces, and it gives you, if you read between the lines, you listen to what's being said, take a look at who's reading it, where it's being passed around. You can get kind of a feel of what's happening in the universe of Electroneum. So, wanted to introduce you to that. Now, one of the things that Chris has recently published, he has an entry or position on LinkedIn, linkedin.com. Now, LinkedIn is a business-to-business or professional-to-professional, sort of like the Facebook of professionals. You put your information in there, your background, history, schooling, and then you can publish stuff, and you can follow folks. You know, the business that I'm in, I have a manufacturing. You know, I have people that follow me from Disney and Universal Studios and large retailers. because they want to see what we're doing at my manufacturing facility. And it's the same type of thing with Chris. Chris has a lot of folks that follow him. And you too can take a look at his articles. If you go to LinkedIn, find Chris Gorman, you can see some of the things that he's published. And if you have the moment and you're really interested in Electroneum and you really want to understand what's going on, take a look and read some of his stuff. It gives you the idea of what's bubbling in their minds. So Chris released a new article just recently, and it's basically regarding how we hit over 2 million people and how to get folks from around the world included in Electroneum, the Electroneum universe, and help grow communities, how to drive financial inclusion for these folks. It's something you want to take a look at. It's an easy read. There's not a whole lot of super technical jargon. It's laid out pretty factly, succinctly, and really gives you an idea of where his thoughts are and where he wants to take things. So he talks about the folks that are out there that don't have access to money, banks, have no way to be able to earn a living with extra resources. They may have smart, they may know how to use computers, but they have nobody to sell it to. There's nobody in their village that can do those things, that needs those services. But if they could find somebody else that's not in their village that needs the services, willing to pay them in crypto, Electroneum, or what have you, that they can start to earn and bring additional income in, raise their standard of living. And these are all important. And he goes through these things. Then he reflects it against why Electroneum is different regarding this. And the biggest keys is that it's regulatory compliant. This is the parts that they're going through now to get that compliancy. And governments are going to be okay with it. Everybody knows what's going on with it. These types of things are important. All right. He talks about how this type of stuff can be achieved by engaging users, letting them use the Electroneum on a daily basis, and like I was saying before, giving people the opportunity to increase their earnings by doing little gigs and jobs, which reflects back to that concept of where they want to create a gig website where you can put up and say, hey, I can do this service. If you're interested, I'll take 1,000 Electroneum, I'll build you a logo, or I'll do something, with video graphics for you, or I'll come mow your lawn, or whatever it is, so that they can actually increase their earnings and raise their standard of income and quality of life for everybody. And it explains basically how this is easy to adopt using Electroneum, and easy to engage the users because the application is so simple, doesn't require anything additional. So, and then they can get their drop each day and then earn it by transferring funds. Okay, he goes into how to facilitate it with the point of sale system and the APIs for sales and retailers. And these are all, the stuff in here is pretty fantastic. And it also tries to explain to these phone companies, and if you read into this, some of the things that if you notice, he starts talking about, hey, phone company, this may be something valuable for you, and why don't you take a look at this, because your subscribers will see a value in this, and add it and try to get it out there to folks that have phone services. So you can tell where they're trying to take things by looking into this. So it's a good read. I'll put the link into the description. Once I get it done, it takes about an hour after the video. If you're watching this after it's live, it'll probably already be there. But once the video is done, it takes me about an hour to get everything straightened out, make a nice thumbnail, all those fancy things that are required. Right, Mr. Bean? Right, yeah, Mr. Bean knows, and he knows what's going on. But read these things. It's important to understand and to be a better investor and to have faith of where things are going to be going with Electroneum, because they're going to make these things happen. Let me take a quick look at the comments, make sure I didn't miss anything here. All right. So we got Mark out there. All right. So H-Bomb saying, not an Electroneum question, but more DigitSpin. Are you going to do single videos anymore, or just focus on the live? Out of curiosity. No, I have some projects in place right now regarding a couple of topics that I'd like to continue to do. I usually work them on the weekends. I've been trying to get this live stream perfected a little bit better, but I want to pick a particular topic. Interviews we have lined up. We'll record it and edit it together and do background information and a lot of the investigative stuff that I've done. So yes, we'll have more pre-made videos that we'll produce, recorded and edited and all that good stuff. We want to get this straightened out, and a lot of folks seem to like the live. They like to be able to interact, ask me questions, and trying to give that opportunity to everybody to be able to do that. Okay. Mark saying hello, welcome to the channel again, Mark. It's good to see you. Mark saying there are 2 million users. What do you think? Do you think that they are all active? So yeah, you have 2 million. All right, so let's take a look at. You know, you can go to just about any type of. Let's take a look at my YouTube. You know, if you got 1,000 subscribers, you obviously have 1,000 unique people that have connected and at one point thought it would be good to watch that. You know, if you take a look at the analytics, it's usually about 12% of those subscribers that actually interact with the channel, and from there, so you know out of that 1,000, you're going to have 120 that are going to watch that video. You usually get about half of that. So if you have 1,000, you might get 500 views, and the difference between the 120 and the 500 is folks that are just happen to be randomly walking by. So it seems to be a pretty consistent, and this is just one example. If you have 2 million users, you know, you probably have about 240,000 people who are actively participating at that moment. All right. Now you keep in mind for, like, let's say the web miner, the mobile miner, you know, you'd have maybe 125,000 on Apple and 125,000 on Google Play at any one time, and those people can go in and out when they're mobile mining. Their phone shuts down, somebody else comes in, so it's going to even be probably 60% of that. So that's regarding mobile mining. Regarding the 2 million users, they signed up because they wanted to have a wallet and they're going to put something in it. So whether they're mobile mining or not, they signed up for a purpose, and I would tend to think the percentage is pretty high that are actively involved with Electroneum out of that 2 million. I'm not smart enough, it's not my pay grade, above my pay grade to actually know what the active numbers are, but I would tend to think it to be quite high with that. So that's my personal opinion on the matter. Okay. Hey, we got Rip Viper Moto. And also, you know, going back to that question, am I going to do more pre-planned videos? If you guys feel that the live videos are no value, and you'd rather me just go back to pre-recorded videos, I can do that too. Put it in the comments below. Give me your thoughts on the matter. You know, if you think I should do all live, if I should do all pre-recorded, or do a mix like I'm thinking about, need your feedback, and you know, just drop it in the comments below when you get a chance, and let me know if this is the type of thing you'd like to see. All right, so Rick Viper Moto, what's up, Dino? The force is strong with this one. Consider yourself insightful, investing and believing Electroneum. About to write some crypto history. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of crypto history coming up, and over the next 12 months it's going to be pretty exciting. I think it's going to be an amazing lift in everybody who's working with crypto. It's going to become more in the forefront. It's going to be more interactive. It's going to be a word that's going to be on people's tongues, and they'll start to understand that it's something that they're not going to be able to get away from. Got myself these Coke Zeros. I like these Coke Zeros. They taste almost like the real thing, and you know, I guess I was getting too fat. My doctor says, Dino, I need you to lose 15 pounds. You know, it's you know, it's probably best for you. I know you're 6'1", but you know, you're supposed to be 200 pounds. You're 225. I need you down a little bit. And so, you know, just by changing to the sugar-free, I was able to lose 15 pounds by just going to water and sugar-free soda. So obviously water's the best. We all know that. It's definitely the best, but I'm glad I lost the 15 pounds. Thank you. I lost 15 pounds. So that's a good thing. All right. So Dijon's also mentioning in here that the question about the users, you can ask that for any coin. Yeah, the fact that, you know, you had asked about Electroneum, this clearly is a crypto-wide, especially, and I would say even more so with some of the other coins, because, you know, they go in and out and they would sell them out, and so is that a user if they don't have any? But you know, if people got the app installed, obviously they're interacting, they're looking at their wallet. If you don't use the app, you usually delete it off your phone, right? So yeah, these numbers that I'm talking about really are just not specific to Electroneum. It's specific to crypto wide. You know, there's all of these pros and cons stretch across all coins. Don't let these guys say, oh, that's an Electroneum problem. It's not an Electroneum problem. It is a crypto-wide concern, or positive or a negative, for just about 90% of the coins. All experience same problems. They all experience monkey business with the blockchain. They all experience users going in and out. They all experience the price going up and down. I mean, look at all the people. Oh, Ontology, you gotta buy Ontology. You gotta buy Ontology, and Ontology goes up. You know, and it's in the tank right now. What do you think they're saying about Ontology? Oh, that Ratfink coin. You know, you got people saying, oh, they're giving an airdrop away. That's great. That's the most amazing thing. I'm getting an airdrop. It's free. It's free. Oh, Electroneum, they're giving away. Oh, that's fake. That's a scam. Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Don't listen to these people. All right. Okay. Paul's telling me that he likes the live stream, so that's kind of good. I'm glad to hear that you do. I'm gonna get back to the chat. I know there's a couple more questions on there, but let's take a look at the nice thing. Now, one of the funniest things happened, and it just happened today, with all of this information. You know, I got to see Chris Gorman in action, you know, fighting off some of this nonsense that people spew out of their mouths without even doing the basic research or even understanding what they're doing. It's amazing how incompetent people are with big mouths that go around talking about how bad things are for a particular coin without even researching it. And they just flap off their mouth. It's irritating to see, not just to hear this babble, outright babble come out of people. So there was a guy who went on Reddit and started talking about how crummy certain coins are, and he put Electroneum in there, and you know, and what's your favorite crummy coin, and he started talking nonsense about Electroneum, and you know, kind of got us all up in a row and everything. But you know what? Electroneum stands up for me and you. You know what? They're not going to let this nonsense continue, because it's just literally rubbish without even bothering to understand anything about the project and its aspirations, its community, and the features and capabilities of what's going on with the project. And just listen to nonsense. And Electroneum stood up for me and you today. And Chris Gorman got out there and he replied back to it. And he told them point blank, and I'm going to put the links down there, but he told them, you know, are you aware of the work we're doing in the financial inclusion across the developing territories? The corporates or institutions Electroneum are working alongside. The instant payment being available on a smartphone, enabling 350 million unbanked individuals to enter the global economy and improve their lives. Please look at the article I posted in one of that and the one that before that. There's a link at the bottom of this post. All I ask is, instead of calling us a crummy coin because we don't fit into your vision of a perfect crypto, please consider that, you know, that there may be by design, there may be a reason why we are a different coin, why Electroneum performs differently, functions differently. All right? Every other coin is just a subset of features of what Electroneum is going to do to help out everybody else and interact with people. Their coin stops at a certain point, and Electroneum does the basics, and it's going to do a heck of a lot more. All right, I'm throwing that in there. That's my personal comments. All right, our goal is to help those in need and who need it most, to provide what good blockchain could do, and to do all this whilst benefiting our whole community. It's not an easy path, but we will not fail. You can throw whatever you want at us, and we will stand up and push on. We know what we are doing is right, and we have 2 million people who are helping us. So please feel free to condemn us in the coming months when you start to see the impact on people in the developing countries. Just ask yourself why you feel the need to attack us at that point. Then think who is ultimately hurting those people. Electroneum is going to be enabling it for financial inclusion. I was so thrilled to see Electroneum push back against illiteracy regarding some of these coins. This really gets me riled up, and this made me excited. I want to give Chris a big thank you. You know, it's great. I'm glad to see it. We need a little bit of pushback and put the facts on the table. And the matter is, and as soon as this guy started to get people telling them nicely the facts, no reason to be rude. You don't need to be rude. You don't have to call them names. You don't have to do any of that. The facts will speak for themselves. You put them out there, and you state them. And the person right here, whoever wrote this nonsense, blew himself right out of the water. He deleted his post and he backed down because he knew he was full of nonsense, and he was getting a lot of common sense put back in his face that he couldn't answer. So it's gone. And this is a win. It's a small skirmish in the big battles ahead. But this skirmish proves a point that when you have illiteracy putting nonsense out on the internet, by putting straight facts like Chris Gorman did, talking about what the plan is and why we do certain things and why it's there the way it is, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Congratulations to you, Chris. I think that's an awesome thing. And each and every one of you should know Electroneum is in our corner. They're doing everything they can to make this a coin, a project that's going to not only have ultimate value for us, but lift the lives of others, change the way the world economics are going, and bring enlightenment to financial issues, ease of access, being able to have a way to make additional monies, to bring people up in the world. Electroneum, they're right on target. All right, let me take a look at the chat real quick. All right. So, H-Bomb, he's telling me he thinks a mix of videos is good, keep things different and consistent, when time allows, of course. Yeah, time's always a problem. It's something I have to work out each and every day. I'm doing my full-time job, which is, my full-time job is probably about 12 hours out of my day. And then I take an extra 3 or 4 hours or more to do this. And, you know, there are days I get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but who needs sleep, right? I'll sleep when I'm dead. All right. H-Bomb's telling me great work on the weight loss. That's thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's not like I'm, you know, I'm not like I'm fat or anything. I guess my doctor would call me fat, but I'm a big guy, so you know, he wants me to get down. There was a point I was 250, and even then I carried it well. But it's good to keep a little weight down. You know, if you start to go over that 250 at 6.5 or 6'1" or so, you start to run into issues with diabetes and all that, especially at my age. You know, I'm an old guy, so I got to deal with these things. All right. And H-Bomb saying you got to love Electroneum marches through the face of adversity. It'll be a hard road, but worth it. Absolutely. Each and every one. No matter what project that you're supporting, you know, I support Webdollar. There's a couple others that I like, and I'll probably be adding to the mix as we go along. I want to see each one of them do well. You know, I try to, when I see something that strikes my fancy, and then I start to look into it, and the more I look into it, the more I like about it. You know, I kind of dive right into it, because I believe what they're doing is beneficial. And you know, by bringing all that goodness to the total environment, there'll be a benefit for me. It's the same as, like, you know, when I started my company in my garage with $500, and you know, now I got 16 folks or whatever working. And the thing is that, you know, and I tell them, if you know, I'm not worried about making money. You know, I got to pay my bills. You know, I want to put a chicken on the table. I like buying socks, you know, that type of thing. I'll go to the movie. You know, I don't need the money. If you make a nice product, you deliver it to somebody at a reasonable cost, you make it effective, you make them smile, you'll make some money on it. It'll just happen naturally. And that's how I look at it. This is a project that's going to move things forward and do some good. And one of the benefits, the side benefits of it, hopefully will be those that believe in it, that are supporting it, that are giving it wings, blowing some air under the wings. You know, they'll get a benefit. They'll get a benefit. All right. Enough said on that. All right. Now, keep in mind, CoinBenny. Our buddies at CoinBenny. Yesterday, I told you that we were looking to hopefully have it for Thursday. I also told you, hey, if it takes them a couple of more days, it's no big deal. They've committed to do this. And the reason why I'm not worried about it being like one of the other exchanges that I won't say the name of that hasn't delivered yet for 6 months is that they are actively communicating to us. They're putting up on their Twitter account, hey, we're not ready yet, we're still working it, but they're communicating. That leaves me no doubt in my mind this is going to happen. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. CoinBenny is going to pop up when it's exactly ready. They're looking for next week. They've got to make sure it's right. We were hoping for tomorrow, but that's okay. We were hoping for today. That's okay. Give them the weekend, give them the middle of the week. Even if it takes the end of next week. As long as they are communicating with us, it means it's on their agenda, they're getting it done, and they're giving us feedback. That is a big feather in their cap. Unlike other exchanges that we were hoping to get and we never heard anything about, that left a kind of a, all right, what's going on? And you feel anxious. You feel like you don't know what's happening. I don't have that here. I have no worries. There's no wrinkles on my forehead whatsoever regarding Coinbenny. All right? So hang in there. We can wait, geez. We've been waiting forever on the other ones. We can wait an extra few more days. Let them do their job. Don't give them any nonsense. Let them do their job. They'll get it done. They've already said that, they're going to do some extra stuff for Electroneum folks. They already said that they're apologizing for the inconvenience, and they're communicating. All right, enough said. I want to thank Coinbenny for communicating and keeping the confidence with the Electroneum folks high and positive. So that's a good thing. All right, let's take a look here real quick at the chat. We got Nutric. Let's see what he has to say. Usually it's something interesting. He goes, I just used Locktrip to book a hotel last week. Felt nice using crypto to book a hotel, and I got a 15% discount. The world is changing. So, wow, Locktrip. I am going to take a look at that. Hope you're going someplace exciting and fun. Not in the middle of a desert or anything like that. Maybe Japan or Las Vegas or maybe Niagara Falls. Anyway, wherever you're going, I hope it's fun. And congratulations to you. I'm going to definitely take a look at Locktrip. That's something that would be fun. And I've never had a chance. I used our company uses, the standard stuff. I don't even know what they are anymore. The TripAdvisor, or I don't know what the heck they use. But I know for sure we can't use crypto on it. So that's exciting. I would be curious to know, did Locktrip let you use Electroneum, or you had to use some of the larger scale coins? I was just curious on that. And obviously, it's probably Bitcoin and all those guys. All right. So good. Appreciate the questions. Obviously, keep them on there. Now, hopefully, you're smart enough to have put your Webdollar or Electroneum address in the live view from yesterday, so that at the end of the show you can win a few dollars. All right, so that covers that. We're gonna take a quick look at Electroneum mining, the experimental ASIC that's sitting on the desk, winding it up. Now it comes stock at 400 megahertz. I bumped it up, and I've gotten all the way up to 440 megahertz, pulling up the clock speed basically, and it's definitely picked up a lot more hash. So and I'm starting to see it. I'm using Nanopool. Fairhash also is a good place to go. They apparently are also pretty good. Some of them don't have the difficulty set to the right level, so if you put your ASIC miner on it, you'll only get 30% of your hash rate because the rest of it's being wasted. So far, Fairhash and Nanopool have been, the place to go. So as far as I'm happy. Everything is pretty calm. It's still in that 790 range. So a day at 220 kilohash. So that's a good thing. We're still around that $10 mark. So that's pretty exciting. You can see it's been pretty level here on the chart. Way over here, it's kind of staying in that range. So that's why everything's been pretty level for the last 3 days. I also had a show the other day, and I told you about Bitmain making the X3. They're creating a new batch for shipment in September, if I'm not mistaken. So there's probably a few left. The prices were really awesome. So if you like to buy from Bitmain, they'll stick it in a box and slap a DHL sticker and shoot it over to you. But you do have to wait, but you're gonna pay, you know, like 40% less. You know, I've seen them yesterday was $1,350, so that's a pretty good price for it, and to be able to earn a few dollars. So if you're looking for an ASIC, and if you have any questions on the ASIC, put it in the comments below. We'll probably do a show regarding that at some point. All right, let's take a look here and close this up. What we're gonna do is hit our next topic, and we're gonna go into some questions and information about Webdollar. But before that, let me just take a quick look here, see if I got anything else. Charles is telling me, let's take a look here. Charles is saying he's running 3 X3s at 519 mega hash and getting 519 on the clock speed, and he's getting 303 kilohash for each unit. I should give it a try. So my only concern is, you know, I'm looking at the temperature on these things, and you know, you have three, basically you have a box, and there's a fan on one side, blows the air through. Inside are 3 cards, and on every card is a series of ASICs that are all performing together. Alright, now these cards go in there, it blows the air, keeps it cool. Obviously, the faster you run it, the hotter the device gets. And of course, the fan will speed up. At stock rate, the fan would run maybe about a 30% of the way. When you start overclocking it, the fan now starts speeding up to keep the temperature, you know, cool. It wants to keep it in that 58 to 61 range on the temperature for each of the ASICs, and so that's important. So obviously by cranking it up, so what my concern is that what is the temperature you're running these things at that high of a speed, 519 on the clock speed on the megacycle. So but that's a good amount. I mean, you've gotten from 220 kilohash up to 303. So if you think about that, that's like a 70% increase, you know, on performance. That's a good thing. I will give it a shot. Appreciate the advice. I didn't know if I could take it up that high, because usually I get to play with this at night, and the last thing I want to do is let it sit there overnight while I'm not here to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't burst into flames on me. You know, I come back to work and everything's missing in the building. So I'll give it a try probably this weekend, and I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Now, regarding Webdollar, let's go into a couple of things on this. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that they did their airdrop. Now, keep in mind, Webdollar is it's not like Electroneum where they have a company. This is a completely open source project, community driven. There's really nobody that owns it or runs it. Anybody can put code into the source. People that advertise it or do things with it or promote it, or these are all people like you and I that are you know, just see that there's a possibility of a decent project. So what happened is the community got together, and obviously these were guys that started way in the beginning and were able to scoop up lots of coins, but they got together. There was, I don't know, 1,000 people or whatever, and they were able to raise $1 million Webdollars. And now there is 42 billion total on the supply. I think there's only 6 or 7. Let's take a look here. I think there's only 6 or 7,000 that are mined right. So there's 5 billion that have been mined. All right. Out of that 5 billion, I know 4 billion went to the project to support the marketing and other things that are going to be needed for the project. So there's a good amount of coins that have been mined so far. Even at 1 billion coins that have been mined already, there's 42 billion, so there's still a lot more to go. All right, now having said that, they raised 1 million coins. They're giving them out, and so what's happening is that I happened to pop onto their Telegram channel, and it was like a circus going on in there. There was people coming in left and right, and I happened to notice that a lot of people really thought the project was pretty sharp. Folks that folks that knew what they were doing, and there were folks that were brand new to crypto that never really got involved with anything and never mined before, because they never had the ability to go buy an extra GPU or to put up money for an ASIC. And then this is one of the things why I thought this was kind of a cool project, because all you had to do is use your computer, open up the web browser, and everything you need is there. There's no hardware, no additional software needed. So this really allows, this is my thought process, if it's that simple and it can use the CPU on somebody's computer, and grandma can do it, because all she's got to do is click on a link and there it is on the web browser and she's done, and just slide the power meter up. All right, I want to put how many threads of power towards mining. I'm thinking to myself, a lot of people that are new, might want to try this out. So, it left me with a similar feeling, and though different, a similar feeling that I kind of get with Electroneum. So, yeah. So they're giving out. Now yesterday, you take a look at yesterday's video. I tell you about all that good stuff. There were links on yesterday's video on how to apply for the airdrop and the minor tasks that you have to do to earn the extra $100. The moral of the story is you open up the web browser and it instantly, let's see if I can get out of the way here. It instantly creates this wallet. Actually, Dino, what am I moving around for? Let's just move the screen. All right. It instantly creates the wallet for you, and it generates it. And it puts it right here, and all you do is you lift this up and your wallet's here. And you can put 3 wallets in there, and it starts creating it. Now if you clicked on a pool, now solo mining is a lot harder. You can have your machine running for a day, 2 days, 3 days. You may not hit anything, but if you do, you're going to score 6,000 web dollars. If you're in a pool, you can connect to the pool. You make less, but you're going to get some on an ongoing basis. Where if my machine's running a week and I didn't score anything, or I have a machine with lesser power, or I have a couple of machines that are Celerons. I'm running Celeron processors on some of these rigs because that's all I needed for mining, and they're basically worthless. I put 1 thread on it, and they're making right like $20, $30, $25, 25 web dollars. A day. So I just let them run for a week, whatever. They score a couple of hundred, and then I move them over to my main wallet. But it creates the wallet for you, and I like to work on the pools because I can see stuff going in throughout the day. I just kind of leave the browser open, let it run. At the end of the day, I check it out. Now the one thing that it does is that when you're working the pool, it'll show you a potential balance and an available balance. The potential balance is what currently your mining has the ability to earn. All right, if the block gets hit and things that get transpire in the proper way, you have the potential to earn those many web dollars. Your available balance is really the key. The available balance is money, or I keep saying money. The web dollars, the cryptocurrency coins that you've actually earned, and there's 338. Now keep in mind, there was no ICO for this coin. There was no pre-mine except for what had to go to the project itself, but nobody got a personal pre-mine. It started at number 1 right after the Genesis block. So every Webdollar that's out there is basically earned. You don't have to go buy them. You just go earn them. And you earn them, and that's why it's called proof of work. You let your machine work, and you're earning them. You know, collect them up. You never know what they could turn into and what could happen with them. These guys have some good plans going forward. So in this particular case, I was running a Ryzen 5. So this is an example. I ran a Ryzen 5 from yesterday's show. Right after yesterday's show, I opened this up on the pool and let it run for 24 hours. In 24 hours, this machine earned 338 Webdollars. So that's pretty exciting. And the reason why I'm bringing this to you is that if you have a machine that's not doing anything, let her earn a few Webdollars. You never know. You don't know what it's going to turn into. And the fact of the matter is that you're getting in before everybody else. I mean, it's starting to really pick up. I've never seen the amount of volume of people interested in it on the Webdollar Telegram channel. It's just phenomenal. And the reason why I'm saying that is that they have, what did I have? I wrote it down here. Let's take a look. There's approximately 1,600 unique Telegram users just in the day using the Telegram, and over 2,000 messages that are happening on the Telegram channel in a 24-hour period. And so there's a lot of activity going on with it, and a lot of people that are going to start to mine it. So if you start to mine it now, you're gonna, because eventually I'm making 340. This is a Ryzen 5. I made 340 Webdollars in the last 24 hours. In a month from now, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to earn that many. So I try to let the machine gather and collect as many as they can now while the going is good. So and then see where it goes from there. Some of the good things I know that they're working on for the third quarter is to get an exchange in place. So right now it's just over-the-counter trading. There is a Telegram channel with people selling and buying the Webdollars, but it'll be an exchange that really makes it easy and trustworthy to do that. But that's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, the third quarter of this year. Let's take a look what else we have. Now, one of the cool things when you're on the pool, and keep in mind the pools, they're finishing them up, and they gave me a statement here. Let's see. They said regarding the pools, they said at the moment the pools are running in experimental mode. Obviously, you see the word experimental here, right? Before they release them, which means that they're tested on the main blockchain. So all these coins that you're earning, they're yours. They're valid coins. It's not like they're test coins. It's not a test net. It's an experimental pool on the main net. It says here you can mine on the experimental pool and get paid accordingly. But keep in mind, on occasion there could be a delay on the payout, and there could be small bugs. Obviously, that's why it's experimental. It's a beta test, and they're trying to get it out. The object of this here, now once you have this set up, you can lock. You hit this lock button, and you can generate a password. It gives you a nice code here. I always don't like to trust codes that are given to me, so I kind of change one of the sections to different words, just to make sure that it's my unique, and then I set the password to it, and that encrypts your wallet, so nobody else can steal it. Now keep in mind, if you want to send any Webdollars out of the environment, you have to have that code. you want to save it on a USB or something. You don't want to save it on your computer if you can help it. Save it on a USB or some kind of stick, and then you can copy and paste it on there, and this way you can transfer WebDollars at that point. Now, what I wanted to bring up is one of the cool things is that that they're doing is that they'll have a referral link. So let's say if there's a pool, you'll be able to copy a referral link, and by getting that link out, so you can earn 5% of the pool money. So let's say they hit a block at 6,000, 5% of that is going to go to people that referred folks to that link. So you can earn additional WebDollars by just even getting the link out there. Once you're logged in and you have your wallet, it creates a link connecting it to your wallet. So when people click on that, your wallet will earn 5% of whatever's generated, which and this is in the experimental one. Now keep in mind, other people can open up pools and their referral fee may be nothing, and maybe 5%, it could be 2%. Everybody can set it up the way they want. But in the experimental, they're doing that. So what we did is that I created a referral link, and I added it to the link from yesterday's video, and I changed it and so that it has a referral link, and I set the referral link to go to the WebDollar giveaway pool, the giveaway wallet. So any money, so by using that link and you mine, and if that wallet earns an extra couple of WebDollars, it'll go into the wallet that I talked about at the beginning of this video, so that we can give those WebDollars away to everybody in the audience. So this way you know what that's about. Now, one of the neatest features that they're also going to do here, let's move this back over. Oh, let me just take a look here, make sure I didn't miss anything on the chat. Oh, I see H-Bomb's going to take off. Take care. Charles is telling me that it's 65 degrees on his ASIC. So that's on the hot side. That's on the hot side. I like to keep them in the 61 or less. And I'm going to get to Michael regarding that. Let's put this up here. We got Ankulmar from India. So great to see you. I'm glad that you were able to make the channel. That's pretty exciting. And our first viewer from India on the live channel, so that's exciting to me personally. So thank you, sir. Okay, getting back to the WebDollars, that you can click on that look, and you can actually now create your own pool. And this is going to be available when they release it, where you'll actually be able to set up, how much you want as an owner fee, how much you want to give as a referral. You'll be able to set it up with a host if you want, so that you can actually host it on a server elsewhere, and let them earn WebDollars for hosting your pool. So this is going to be kind of clever, and then you can then click on the link, and then you send out your links for people to come and mine on your own pool. Now keep in mind, you're setting up a pool, and you're doing all this without even having to have extra hardware, and and you can get the links out any way you want, Twitter and whatever, and you'd be able to earn a couple of extra WebDollars. And because of all this is the reason why I thought this project was really cool, and why I think it's going to go places. People like to have this social interaction and give out links and do stuff. So I see people using this, and I see people setting up environments where they're talking about it and letting people mine it. It doesn't cost them anything. They're earning WebDollars, and it's going to generate a lot of excitement. This is what's going on in my brain. I'm looking at all this stuff that they're doing, and I'm seeing a lot of people, especially people that are new, getting into this, because they don't need hardware. They don't have to go buy anything extra, and they can become a pool owner. You can set up a pool and just say, I'm going to collect 2% on all the transactions that pool earns, and that's what I do. Or I could be a referrer and I give out links, and I earn just on the referral system. Or I could just be a miner. There's nothing else like this that I've seen on any coin, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is unique. This is unique, and that's the only reason why I thought this was kind of clever and cool. So that's why I'm bringing it to you guys. Like I said, I'm not earning anything from any of this these things. I'm going to try to start a pool. We're taking names for that at some point. Obviously, they've got to get the thing working. And there's nobody in the United States that has mentioned that they're setting up a pool yet. So we want to try to do that going forward. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But take a look at it, Webdollar. That's the information that I got you for today. Okay, and I'll put all the pertinent links down below. Take a look at it for yourself. See if it's something that has value to you. See if you think it's good or not. If you don't, tell me. If you find the flaw in all this, let me know. If you see where you don't, if you think it's good or if you think it's bad, you can connect to the DigitSpin Telegram channel. Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. I'm curious. There's a lot of smart people out there. I'm curious to hear what you have to say on the matter. Because as far as a speculative coin, which means you have no idea where it's going to end up. And you're going into this, you're putting energy and time into something that could be worthless, could turn out to be the next Bitcoin. You don't know. But this is a cool project, so I leave it at that. All right, let's give away our monies for today. We did the random picker. It was 50 of coin of your choice, whether it be Webdollars or Electroneum. Keep in mind for tomorrow, you want to put your Electroneum or Webdollar address in the comments below after the show is done. So you're going to have to come back to the show if you're watching it live and put it in there. The comment picker will pick a random one. If you have a Webdollar address, we're going to give you Webdollars. If you have an Electroneum address, we're going to give you Electroneum. Because we love both of these great projects. All right, now I preloaded it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. I preloaded it. And we're ready to go. Okay, I'll just make sure I'm not missing anything exciting. Okay, I'm going to take a look at some of the items in the chat. I will read them later on, and I'll try to get back to you on them. I know this is important to everybody here. So I put yesterday's YouTube share link into the system already. We're going to fetch, and it's coming up that there's 13 valid entries. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to pick a winner. If it doesn't include an Electroneum or Webdollar address, I'm going to pick again until we find somebody that has put one of their crypto addresses in there. Ready? Here we go. Pick a winner. All right, we have Music Lover. Congratulations. I've seen Music Lover on the channel a few times, and he always leaves great comments, so that's great. He's telling me, great video, brother, and he put an Electroneum, because it starts with ETN. He put an Electroneum address. We're going to now send him 50 Electroneum. It'll take me about an hour to get that over to him. I will, again, put the transaction ID into the description below, like I've done the last few days, so if there's any questions, you can take a look at it. Congratulations. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, ideas, put them in the comments below. I like reading what you guys have to say. Have a nice night. Talk to you again.